Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit. It's been very hectic here. I'm finishing up my senior capstone, so I've been just going, but I've decided to sit down today and film my college experience. So I went to Loyola University, New Orleans, or I'm still attending, but I'm gonna graduate this May. So I've been there since 2017, so I graduated high school in 2017 and started at Loyola in 2017. So I'm just gonna go through kind of the 4 years in college, and hopefully this helps one of you who is just starting college. So yeah, let's just get started. My freshman year was from 2017 to 2018. The summer before freshman year, I think, is always the most fun summer. You just don't have any responsibility, no summer reading, no math that you need to complete. It's just really fun. I worked a lot that first summer. I started liking a boy that first summer, but going into freshman year, it was really hard to make friends. I think in my case, because I was a commuter, so I lived about 20 minutes outside of New Orleans, so I just commuted because it was much cheaper. But I think if I lived in the dorm, then I would have a better friend experience, but it was really difficult to make friends in my classes and just in general, just because I didn't spend all that time with people. So I was a little bit lonely at first. That is something to think about if you commute. It is quite difficult to make friends just because you can't just go and pop into someone's room at any hour of the night. Sad that I didn't get to experience the full college dorm life experience. That's something I regret. I don't even think regret's the right word. I think I definitely missed out, and I wish I experienced it, because I think it would have made the college experience a little bit more whole. But in the long run, I know it was financially better for me just to stay at home. But my freshman year, I did meet Spencer, so that was a big plus. We met in one of our classes and we just hit it off, and obviously now it's too many years later. You can meet people, it's really easy, but it's also very difficult at the same time. It can be similar to high school. There's so much drama that happens if you really want to be a part of the drama, but there's also no drama if you don't want to be a part of the drama. And people are a lot chiller in college, but they're also uptight. So it's very similar to high school. It's just now adult version. I started out as an international business major and wanting to get a Spanish minor. So that was a complete 180 from what I'm doing now. I was still really interested in fashion, but I just thought the business side is where I wanted to go. I wanted to travel abroad. I wanted to potentially live abroad. So I thought international business was a pretty sound way to go. And then I thought business in general was a sound way to go. I disagree with that thought process now. Business school was really easy for me that first year. I didn't feel challenged at all. My most challenging course was my Spanish courses, which I do miss that I couldn't fit those in my schedule when I switched majors, but I really enjoyed the first year of college academically wise, but I didn't think it was very challenging. I decided at the end of my freshman year to switch majors. I took a quiz at the business college and I just didn't fit in any of the categories. I didn't fit in marketing, finance, accounting, international business, which I was in. My highest percentile was creative production. And I was like, what am I doing? I didn't know what I was doing. And I looked into graphic design and I was like, I talked to the head of design, I asked her a bunch of questions, and I just made the decision. I didn't even really consult my mom about it. I talked to my advisor. My advisor was really excited for me to start this. He said that I could be really good at it, and I just decided to switch my major. And I did it. I missed a whole year of design, so I had to make that up. I had to finish 4 years of design into 3, but I am so glad I made that decision. If you're ever hesitant to switch majors, do it if you feel that it's right for you. It was one of the best decisions I think I've ever made. I would have been miserable in international business. I definitely could have done it, but I definitely would not be where I am, and it would be awful to be in international business. Graphic design was the best decision I've ever made, so switching my major was one of the best decisions I ever made, and it really defines me, and it makes me so happy to be able to be creative all the time. So if you are wanting to switch but afraid that you won't make money in the industry, do it. Just go for it. You will always say what if you never try. So I would say try it. Your late teens, early 20s is the time to be exploratory. It's okay if you mess up. It is so okay if you mess up. That's something I have to come to terms with. I don't know that it's okay to mess up. I don't like to mess up. Mess up. You know, fuck up. Just get all that shit out and just figure out what you want to do. I mean, and it might take years, but if that's what you want to do, just go for it. So moving on to sophomore year, it was my first year of design. I felt like a freshman again. It was really fun. A lot harder work than business. So much harder, so many hours grueling over, and just like, it was hard. I spent 6-7 hours in the design studio up till like 2 a.m. just like grinding it out. And a lot of personal changes happened my sophomore year. My mom moved to Florida. I moved out of my childhood home of 19 years. I moved in with my dad. Anxiety started getting really bad. It was just a lot of personal changes on top of a lot of academic changes. Not much happened sophomore year. I did lose a friend, not in death, but just like, we just stopped being friends. You'll encounter some people, and if you guys want a video on relationship advice and me and Spence together, definitely leave a like and a comment, and I'll definitely film that for you guys. When you're infatuated with someone, and this is the first time Spence and I were able to go to college together and be together all the time, you just want to spend all the time with that person. A lot of people disagreed with my decision to spend a lot of time with Spence and thought that was very unhealthy. I disagreed. I think the time that I spent with him was me being infatuated and wanting to be and just obsessed with him. And of course now we're at the point where we've kind of gotten over that phase, and now we are searching for those friendships. And I would have maintained those friendships if I didn't feel like they disagreed with my decision to be with Spence or to spend as much time as I do with Spence. So if they have a problem with me spending that time with him, then I just decided it wasn't worth it being friends with them, because if they didn't appreciate the time that I was with my boyfriend, then I just didn't care enough. And so it was a little sad to lose those people in my life, but ultimately I don't regret the decisions I made there. You're just gonna lose friends, and that was a big change in my life. Like having a boyfriend, it was my first boyfriend. I really did try to separate myself and be able to, you know, have friend time and then have boyfriend time and then have boyfriend and friend time at the same time. I really wanted people to understand that when Spence and I are hanging out with friends, we are just friends too. Like, we can hang out and not be having a lot of PDA. I just wanted people to understand that, and some people just refuse to. So I did lose a couple of friends sophomore year, and into junior year, my anxiety just skyrocketed. I was having mental breakdowns almost every week, and my home life wasn't the greatest. There was a lot of tension, and that was just adding on to it. But it was my second year of design. So my junior year was my second year of design. I still was loving it. It was still so hard. And because I switched majors, I was taking 18 to 21 credits every single semester just to catch up. And I was doing that on top of having a part-time job, and having 3 studios on in one semester is a lot. You won't think it is, but it's a lot. You just spend 6, 7, 8 hours on each class every single day, and it's just a lot of work, but I did get it done. And then this semester, I'm only taking 12 credits, so it's just very much worth it. So my junior year was just crazy as well. I thought it was much better. I really found a love for animation and After Effects, and I really found my niche in design. I really started feeling like I am a professional and I can be a professional in this industry. I felt really good about the decision that I made. And I landed my first internship the spring of junior year with Minmu Studios. They were such a big help for so many reasons, and it was such a good, I now have them on my resume, and it's such a good recommendation. And this was the first year Spence lived off campus, so I did spend a little less time on campus, but Spence got roommates, lived off campus. That was really fun. It was kind of like me living closer to campus because I spent a lot of time with him, but I was still grinding it out, and my anxiety just was really bad. I was in such a negative headspace. My depression was really bad. I started going to therapy my junior year. It was really hard. I was unveiling a lot of my childhood and just things in general that were hurting me. And eventually my therapist said, this has come to a point where therapy is not doing the trick. I needed to get onto medication in order to have the therapy help me out. So I decided to go on medication and continue therapy. The medication is one of the best decisions I have ever made. Fall and spring semester of junior year was really hard, just like sophomore year, just in a different way. More emotionally rather than academically, it was really difficult. Academically added on to it, but junior year was just a really emotional year. Something that I needed to work on myself. And it's really hard to work on your emotional side with a partner just because you feel like you're burdening them, and they also have to bear the weight of you being sad all the time. And so that put a strain on Spence and I's relationship, but I think it only made us stronger. And some things went on with his life, so I did have to miss a couple weeks of school. Oh, another thing that happened junior year is quarantine and COVID. It is almost a year for New Orleans, at least, that shut everything down. It was March 16th of 2020 that everything shut down. So it's almost a year in about like 7 days, in a week from now. So doing school, at least for a college student during quarantine, was not that difficult for me. What's nice about graphic design is that everything is digital and online, so it's just like you're working from home and doing all this stuff. I felt pretty good about my schedule. I felt pretty good about time management stuff, so I didn't struggle too much with quarantine, like initial quarantine and COVID. I was definitely nervous for what was going to happen, and my internship moved completely virtual. I felt really good about it. I didn't feel terrible, and I know some people struggled, like people who were in STEM. People who are art majors really had a hard time with it, and I know people did have a really hard time with online school, and fortunately I didn't have a hard time. But if you are the type of person that just knows that they're not gonna do well online, don't do it. Don't put yourself through it. It's not worth it. Just take a year off. It's fine. If you need to prolong it to make yourself feel better, just do it. I wanted to grind it out. I was like, you know what, I can do it. I'm so close to the end. I didn't want to be in school longer. But if you feel like that's the right move for you, by all means. A lot of people did drop out my year. So a lot of people haven't finished school, and I don't know if they're planning on to. So yeah, they are not attending and have not attended for an entire year, and I don't know if they're going to attend. School might just not be right for them. And I think online school kind of put that into perspective, that online school is not the way to go, and maybe college is not the way. I have definitely changed my opinion about college in general. We're really young getting into college and to decide a career that we potentially want to have for the next 60, 70 years. And to that end, making a decision that you want when you're 50 is crazy to me. And I'm not saying some people aren't capable of doing that, but to have and make a decision that affects your future forever at the age of 18 is bonkers to me. So if you need to take time off, take time off. I decided to go all the way through. Luckily, I think I've made a decision that I think I will be very happy with in the future. And now, senior year. So senior year is hard as well, but much easier in class load. And because I'm taking medication, because my anxiety is better in check, it feels much better. I still have some low periods, and I had to realize what it's like living alone. And I don't like living alone all that much. I do and I don't. I appreciate the time I'm here by myself, but I also yearn for people to be with me. I am just a more people person, and I like having just a presence in the room. It's really nice. But I do appreciate the alone time, and I've made it for myself. I figured it out. Now my worries have switched from what classes am I gonna take to what job do I want? How am I gonna get a job? How I'm going to complete everything. So my mindset has changed, and I'm very nervous. I've kind of relayed this in a few of my videos, just the uncertainty of everything. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, that is the toughest part, but senior year has probably been the most fun. Barring quarantine and COVID, senior year has been really fun, and the fact that it's just been more relaxed, and I don't need to worry about too much, but I also need to worry about my career. And yeah, so senior year so far has been good. Your thesis is your main priority, so focus on that. I'm losing motivation. I feel like I had pretty good motivation for the last 3 years, but this year I am like, get me out of school. I'm totally done with it. Senior year has just been me mustering up motivation to do things. It feels like senioritis, like it did in high school. Like I'm definitely ready to be done and over with it. And I'm ready to like move on to the next chapter. I've been itching to get out of New Orleans and to like move out and just do this whole new thing. I'm kind of over school. I think I'm ready for the new chapter, even though I know so many people are saying I'm gonna miss school when I'm not in it. I think I've come to terms with the fact that I am ready to move on, and I feel like this is how I felt in high school. Like, of course I'm going to miss high school in some aspects, but I'm ready to move on to college, and I feel the same way, that I'm going to miss the freedom I had in college, but I'm ready to move on to the next chapter. So overall, I would say college is really fun. Don't be scared. Take risks. If you want to make this a change in your life, make it a change. If you want to be a new person in this life, make those changes to be a new person. High school doesn't define you. College will help define you. If you don't feel like school is for you, that's completely fine. High school is not for everybody. College is not for everybody. That is okay. You don't need to go and get your 4-year degree if you can get your associates. Do what you can. You have so much time to figure it out. You will be fine. It's hard, I'm not gonna lie. College can be difficult, and it's what you make of it. And just have fun. You can have fun and fuck up and just mess up, and it's a time to explore. It's a time to figure out who you are. It's just a time to have fun, but also learn a bunch of freaking things. Overall, it's a really good experience, and I would recommend it for a lot of people. But again, if you know you're not right for it, that's not for you. And I don't think it's for everybody. And I think dropping out is not a failure. It's just you figured out that's not what you want to do. And I have a friend now who's in cosmetology school, and that's for her. And she has student debt because she went into college, but she doesn't regret the decision. She figured out exactly what she wanted to do now, and that's hair. And so if that's what you need to do, just go for it. You'll be fine. So kind of all over the place, but that was my college experience. Overall, I loved college. Am I gonna miss it? A little bit. Do I wanna get out? Yes. And move on to the next chapter. So yeah, I graduate in May. I'm very excited for the next chapter. I'm very excited to look for jobs and to potentially just be a graphic designer in the field. This is crazy. yeah, I am very excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below for any other videos you would like to see from me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.